Welcome to Reddit Tea Time. Am I the bonehead for not allowing my daughter to go back to my cousin's house because of her autistic son? My cousin and I both have 2 kids the same age. We have 12-year-old boys and 11-year-old girls. Her 12-year-old son, Damien, is autistic and has a lot of issues that we believe are unrelated to the autism, but we are no experts on the subject. My 12-year-old son, Christopher, loves hanging out with Damien because he enjoys knowing that he brings some sort of joy to Damien's otherwise rough life. Damien has been kicked out of every school he's been to, so he has no friends. Our daughters are the best of friends as well, basically inseparable. Well, about 2 weeks ago, my cousin asked if she could take my kids for the week. COVID outbreak at school, so school was called off anyways. I said that was fine after asking the kids if they wanted to go. Everything was perfectly fine for the entire week, I thought. I checked on the kids often, they seemed happy and to be having fun. However, that all changed when I picked my kids up. That's when they told me all the weird crap Damien was doing. Such as my daughter would wake up to Damien stroking her hair or arms while she slept, and when she caught him, he pretended to be asleep. He went into his sister's room at some point during the night against his parents' rules. I guess he also told my daughter several times that he likes her, and when my daughter told my cousin about it, she basically said, "It's okay to have crushes, but where you're related, you simply can't act on it." I guess he also kept trying to take pictures of her. I'm unsure on whether or not she corrected her son's behavior on touching my daughter in her sleep. However, I do know that not once did she tell me anything that happened. My kids did, while she kept it hush-hush. After finding all of this out, I called my cousin and said that my kids would no longer be allowed there because my daughter now felt uncomfortable around Damien. She is pissed because he doesn't mean it. It's not like he went out of his way to be weird. He doesn't understand. It's his autism, but says she ultimately understands. However, she's still making me feel bad about it because her kid has autism and doesn't know why he isn't allowed to see my kids anymore, and I guess he has been having a lot of outbursts since that point. One of them resulting in her needing to call the police because he became violent and started throwing chairs. Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. Yes, some people with autism sometimes don't know how to act in social situations. However, that does not mean they get a free pass to do whatever they want. You need to look out for your kids and their well-being. Not the bonehead. Autism and being an effing creep are not synonymous. Your daughter doesn't want to be around him. Don't take her around him. Period. If he doesn't understand, it's because she hasn't taught him. Being autistic doesn't mean puberty doesn't happen to him. It means she needs to spend a lot of time teaching him about how to appropriately handle his urges and respect other people, regardless of how he feels. Telling him not to act on a crush isn't nearly enough for any kid going through puberty, and especially not for an autistic child who gets violent when they don't get what they want. Not the bonehead, and she is going to find her son is excluded from and kicked out of a lot more places if she keeps excusing his sexually predatory behavior as something that can't be helped. Am I the bonehead for deciding to not tell my side of the family the next time I'm pregnant because of how they reacted and what they did after I told them? I, 19 female, and my boyfriend, 23 male, found out I was pregnant in February of this year. But unfortunately, I suffered a miscarriage. When I found I was pregnant, I called my mom to tell her, and when I said I'm pregnant, she hung up on me immediately. When I called her back, she refused to answer it and put my cousin on the phone. When she answered, she said, "I want to see the hospital paperwork and the tests." So I showed her all the paperwork and the 4 tests that were positive. My mom got on the phone and I told her I didn't want her to tell anyone until me and my boyfriend announced it first. She said okay, and I thought we were good. Until I got phone calls from 4 people, I specifically told her I didn't want to know at all if it was possible. All 4 of them immediately starting demanding things from me. I can't go over everything, but here are 2 examples of things they demanded from me. My aunt wanted me to do 5 generation photos 1 week after I had the baby, which she wanted me to drive 5 hours to her for. I said I'd think about it, and then she said she was going to have them put in the city's newspaper. And I immediately said, no, I'm not putting pictures of my newborn all over town just so you can get some attention. My great aunt called and said she wanted to have the baby come and see her and my uncle, and her daughter would be at my house November 15th to pick the baby up. I was due October 26th, and I said, "And how do you plan on feeding the baby when I'm breastfeeding?" She says, "Oh, you can pack enough for me, can't you?" I said I could, but I will not, because you are not taking my newborn for 2 weeks without me and my boyfriend being there. And my boyfriend asked me if I was going to tell them the next time I was pregnant, and I said no. Not until everyone I want to know is told, including my mother, who not only told the entire family, but the entire town knew about it. So, am I the bonehead? Now, for some comments. Not the bonehead. You don't have to tell your family, especially your mom, a damn thing until you are ready. To me, perhaps don't tell them anything until after the baby is born. You have one entitled, delusional family. Wanting to take your baby 3 weeks after delivery and keep them for 2 weeks? Are they nuts? Your mom definitely cannot be trusted. What a nightmare for you. Good luck. Not the bonehead. These are some really inconsiderate reactions from your family. Are they crazy or just insanely selfish? Don't tell them anything anymore, ever. They have no good intentions for you or the baby. No good comes from involving them. I thought they were going to be upset about her being pregnant at 19. No, they want to broadcast the news. Am I the bonehead for not taking my youngest children on their weekend because my oldest daughter had a baby? This is messy. I, 40 male, have been married to my wife Cindy off and on. We had a child together who is now 17. We had a rocky part in our marriage and split for a few years where I met a woman, Stacy. We were together for a while, having twins together, ages 12. Stacy and I split up because she ended up being unfaithful. 2 years later, I had reconciled with Cindy. We got my twins every weekend due to our work schedules. This past weekend, my oldest daughter went into early labor. It was also my weekend with my twins. I had told Stacy on the way to the hospital that I would not be able to have them this weekend due to this. I had put my phone on silent and away, due to a lot going on. When I returned on my phone, I had a bunch of texts from Stacy saying how I needed to go home and be with my twins, and how Cindy could handle this situation. I told her absolutely not, that I wasn't missing the birth of my grandchild. She then responded angrily, saying how I was picking my oldest daughter over my youngest, and how wrong that was since they can only see me on the weekends anyways. I tried texting and calling multiple times throughout the weekend, getting no responses. Am I the bonehead? Now for some comments. You're the bonehead. This was your responsibility to figure out. It was your weekend. Making your ex rearrange her schedule because you decided not to get the kids is absolutely unacceptable. Your weekend means that you need to arrange childcare if needed. Do better, not the bonehead. All these fools saying you're the bonehead and she would be fine without you obviously have never been a support person to someone giving birth. Adding in your 17-year-old child went into early labor on top of that makes it an emergency. Could you have arranged childcare for your twins? Yes, but you were all panicking in the situation. Early labor can be life or death for both baby and mom, so I get it. But your ex could have been way more understanding considering she's been through childbirth. All these "you're the boneheads" are unhinged. It was an emergency. But if your ex ever needs you to step up in an emergency for the twins, don't be a hypocrite. And I would obviously prioritize seeing them next weekend if your ex allows it to make up time. There needs to be flexibility when life happens. That's parenting and why I'm not suited. Am I the bonehead for not telling my wife's family that we got married even though they knew we were eloping? So my wife, 28, and I, 30 male, have been together for 5 years and have been engaged for 2. From the beginning, her and I decided that we wanted to elope and then have a nice party a little farther down the road so both the families could come and celebrate with us, which we told our families. We decided that our elopement date was going to be on our 5-year anniversary and only told our parents because even though we love our families, they can tend to be very opinionated on matters. Though we weren't trying to keep it a secret, seeing as both sides already knew we were eloping within the year. We planned to tell our families a little later in the month once my wife had updated all of her paperwork. Once we were married, my wife posted some of the pictures on Instagram. Nothing huge, just some pictures of her and I smiling and hugging, and one of us showing our new rings. Her cousin saw her post and decided she was going to tell everyone on her dad's side of the family. Both her grandmother, aunt, and uncle were furious and hurt that we didn't include them in our special day. They accused us of being selfish, disrespectful, and ungrateful. They said we betrayed their trust and ruined our relationship with them. We tried to explain our reasons and apologize for hurting their feelings, but they wouldn't listen. They said we owed them an explanation and a proper wedding. They demanded that we have a do-over ceremony with all of them invited. They also threatened to cut us off if we didn't comply. We also felt that they were being unreasonable and manipulative. We told them that we loved them and wanted them in our lives, but we wouldn't let them dictate our decisions. They said we were being stubborn and immature, and they hung up on us. We haven't heard from them since then, and we don't know if they will ever talk to us again. We are happy with our marriage, but we are sad about losing our families. We don't think we did anything wrong. So, Reddit, am I the bonehead for getting married without telling my wife's family? Now for some comments. Hard no to all of this ridiculousness. You are married and you did what you wanted. Their emotional blackmail is worthless. Don't fall for it now, or you'll be stuck forever. Enjoy your lives. Wishing you all the best. Not the bonehead, not the bonehead. As a couple, y'all decided what was important for y'all concerning a day and event that's about your union. You informed immediate family about the plans, and even went above and beyond by telling your plans of eloping and having a celebration at a later time so all family members could come. Only thing that is not mentioned here that could play a part is cultural or religious ideologies that the family has around marriage, but even then you stated y'all's plans to the family. They are making something that is supposed to be about y'all about them, which isn't right. Hopefully they see the errors in their thinking and a relationship can be attempted again in the future. Has that side of your wife's family always been this unreasonable and childish? Not the bonehead. Absolutely not. They might be disappointed, but to cut you and your wife off because they didn't get to go to a wedding is a massive overreaction. What do you think? Please like and tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell because you don't want to miss a single Reddit story. In the meantime, please take care of yourself. I'll see you soon.